BoxRec has got this Joseph Parker versus Hughie Fury fight listed as being on ITV box office in the UK. Now, BoxRec is an excellent site, one of my favorite sites, but they do make mistakes from time to time, so you can't take this as gospel. I've seen BoxRec make numerous mistakes over the years, and with a website as big as they have, with the amount of information that is constantly updated, mistakes will be made. So I'm not criticizing them for it at all. But you just have to bear that in mind when you see this particular image on screen that shows them listing ITV as the broadcaster for this fight in the UK, ITV box office. Now, how do you feel about this if it is indeed on ITV box office? Is this a good move? Is it a bad move? One of the reasons why a lot of promoters are moving to box office in this modern age of boxing is because television companies no longer pay the big rights fees to screen boxing that they used to pay back in the days. Back in the days, television companies like ITV and BBC in the UK would pay big rights fees to show Chris Eubank fights, Nigel Benn fights, Prince Nassim, even Audley Harrison got paid, you know, a big sum of money for having his early fights on BBC. Well, the television companies no longer support that model. They're not willing to pay out big rights fees. So in order for promoters to pay fighters the kind of purses that they want, they're having to move to pay-per-view. You know, that's one of the reasons, at least, that they're moving to pay-per-view, one of the major reasons. And obviously they want to pay themselves a lot of money, the promoters, you know, because the more the fighter gets paid, the more the promoter gets paid, because the promoter is on a percentage of the fighter's purse. So yeah, that's what it is. In the case of Joseph Parker and Hughie Fury, neither one of them are household names in the UK. In fact, they're pretty much unknown to the general public in the UK. So how successful would a pay-per-view be? They're struggling to sell tickets at the Manchester Arena for one, even though Hughie Fury is from the Manchester area. So if they're struggling to sell tickets for the fight in his hometown, you have to also imagine they're going to struggle to sell pay-per-views. I can't imagine that this fight, despite being for a world heavyweight title, would do better pay-per-view numbers than Chris Eubank's last two ITV pay-per-views. I can't imagine it will, because the public are far more familiar with the Eubank name. You know, Eubank Jr. and Sr. are like a double act that the public are fairly familiar with at this point. But Hughie Fury, nobody in the UK knows this guy other than us hardcore boxing fans. So let me know what you think, people. Should they have cut their losses and maybe thought, let's try an investment here. Let's maybe take a hit in the pocket to expose Hughie Fury to a larger audience on normal ITV, not box office. And then we'll cash in on it down the line if he manages to beat Parker. Because if he defeats Parker in front of an audience on television of, you know, 5-6 million, then that's really going to help his market value afterwards. Maybe they're not that confident in Hughie. I don't know. Maybe the promoter's not that confident. He's thinking, no, we need to cash in right now in case he loses. We don't want to make that kind of investment. We don't want to take that kind of hit in the pocket. So anyway, let me know how you feel, people. Drop your comments in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.